Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Carolyn Maria, working as an assistant professor in Loyola College of Education, Chennai. The title of the course is Childhood and Growing Up, which comes under Course 1. We are going to learn Unit 5 Gender Stereotypes and Gender Roles. This video lecture is going to focus on what is gender stereotype, gender roles, and gender stereotyping and gender identity in early childhood and adolescence, gender schema theory, strategies for non-gender development, and role of teachers in promoting gender equality. This video lecture is planned in such a way that the learner will be able to understand the gender stereotypes and gender roles, gain knowledge about gender schema theory, identify the strategies for non-gender development, realize the role of a teacher in promoting gender equality. Let's first understand the difference between gender and sex, then we learn what is stereotype. Gender is your own perception with regard to your gender. That is, if you are brave enough, you can call yourself as a male. If you are shy and calm, quiet, you can call yourself as female. So whatever an individual perceive about himself or herself with regard to masculinity or femininity is called as gender. So gender is the range of characteristics pertaining to and differentiating between masculinity and femininity. The role of a male or a female in a society is known as a gender role, or an individual's concept of themselves as a feminine or masculine is called as gender identity. How you perceive yourself with regard to the characteristics whatever you are having is what called as gender. You may perceive yourself as a male or a female, but sex is the biological difference between the male and female, such as the genitalia and the genetic difference. That is how far a male is different from female with regard to their physical appearances. So the physical appearances, bodily structure differentiate male from female. That is what called as sex. What is stereotype? Stereotype is a fixed general image of a person or otherwise by many people. Whatever we have it in our mind favoring to one particular gender is what called a stereotype. And here with regard to gender stereotype, we may favor only one particular gender. We may favor either male or female in certain circumstances. What is gender stereotype? The mindset of people favoring one particular gender and having prejudice on another gender is called as gender stereotype. It is defined as overgeneralization of characteristics, differences and attributes of certain group based on their gender. Usually in Indian culture, we do favor male than female. What is gender role and gender identity? How an individual feels inside within a person, whether male or female, is called as gender identity, irrespective of their biological body. And it is a personal conception of oneself as either male or female. We do have most common gender stereotypes based upon different reasons. For example, with regard to our personality traits, female are expected to be shy, passive, submissive, organized, clean, neat, beautiful, and all that. But with regard to the male are expected to be very tough, aggressive, dominant, lazy, and keeping all their places messy. With regard to the domestic behavior, female are expected to cook and do all the household activities, household work, taking care of the children, growing the children, nurturing the children. All these responsibilities are given to female. With regard to male, they are asked to help only in the case of any sort of repair work at home. These are the stereotype, gender stereotype we do have in our society. We do have some sort of branded jobs to be done by male and female. With regard to the occupation, female are expected to go for clean jobs as teachers, secretaries, nurse, librarians, like that. Male are expected to go for dirty jobs as mechanics, construction work, plumbers, engineering, all this, etc. Physical appearance, ladies are expected to be short, slender, beautiful, etc. With regard to men, they are expected to be tall, broad shoulders, handsome, manly, and all. These are the mindset we do have with regard to male and female, which differentiates them. Let's learn what is gender stereotyping in early childhood and adolescence. This gender stereotyping starts from our family. If we are having one child, no problem, we may not have much stereotyping. But if we are having two children of different gender, automatically we may go for a stereotype, gender stereotype. We may favor one gender, either boy or girl, depends upon your choice. For example, if you are going for a birthday party of a 5-year-old girl, what do you buy for, as a gift? Either you buy Barbie set or cookery set or doctor set or teacher set, something like that. If you're going for a birthday party of a 5-year-old boy, you just go for buying some car, truck or train or some Lego set, something like that. So here itself the differentiation starts. We are even in the toys, we are having a differentiation to give girls separately and boys separately. And same way with regard to the clothing also. There will not be much difference till the children are at the age of 2 to 3. After they start going to school, we do differentiate. For example, girls will go with frock, boys will go with trousers and shirt or pant and shirt, like that. If the boy is going with the frock, we make fun out of him. So that is the thing we are not able to identify, or we are not able to accept with regard to the boys. Same way with regard to the color also, even girls, whatever we buy, we may just go for choosing pink color, and for boys blue color. So even the Kinder Joy, you take Kinder Joy chocolate, you do have the difference with regard to the color. So this gender disparity starts right from early childhood itself. Bears for boys and butterflies for girls, and there should not be any violation with regard to this gender stereotype. As I told you already, if a boy is wearing a frock, that is a crime according to the other people. If a girl is wearing a pant, jeans pant and a t-shirt, we just welcome that. So here we favor girl than boy. For example, even if a boy is coming with the nail polish and mehendi, which is not acceptable. But if a girl is playing with a truck and some heavy things and all, that also we do not accept. So we are branding girls separately and boys separately with regard to everything. And the same thing continues when they grow as an adolescent also. And with regard to food, when you go to villages and all, you could see male are given healthy food than for female, because they may say that men are going to do hard work, they are going to do heavy work when they grow as an adult. And at the time of puberty, female will be given extra food because they need strength during the time of pregnancy, delivery, like that. So this sort of disparity is there with regard to food, dress, sleeping restriction. Girls are asked to get up early in the morning. Boys are even given freedom to sleep little late also. And with regard to the other preferences of going out, freaking out with their friends and talking louder, all these we do have different restrictions for girls as well as for boys. Let's learn what is gender identity in childhood and adolescence. Children come to know about their different gender when they come to school. For example, until they are at home, they all will use the same restroom. When they come to school, they are given different restrooms. Girls separate restroom, boys separate restroom. With regard to seating arrangement also, girls may be asked to sit in one row, boys may be asked to sit in another row, by which they come to know the difference between male and female. And it is 100% evident at the time of puberty. When they become adolescents, they know 100% who are boys and who are girls. So this will actually result in their characteristics as well as which will result in their personality. If they are given prior information with regard to their bodily changes, they will not have any confusion and they'll become very bold and they'll accept their bodily changes. And there are sometimes some disorders may happen. For example, this transgender. So they may even understand who are transgenders and what are their problems if they are given proper information. And peer interaction is there at this particular time a lot. You could see the adolescent students joining together and talking a lot with regard to their gender difference, and it is the societal demand. You cannot avoid this, and at this point of time they may have a lot of anxiety because of their hormonal changes. And the study habits are different for boys as well as for girls. Girls are expected to have long study hours than boys because boys are good at understanding. This is the stereotype. Once again, I would say this is a stereotype. This is a mindset. It may be in vice versa also. Some girls may learn very quickly. Some boys may take a longer time for them to learn. So that is what the stereotype which we are having. And religious practices also with regard to boys and girls, it is different. Girls are asked to perform so many rituals than boys. Boys are given little freedom with regard to this religious practices and all. And parental influence is also there. Parental pressure are there for girls a lot than the boys. If you are having only one child at home, you put all your pressure to that particular child alone. So, in this stage, children will crave for autonomy. When they are in childhood stage, they'll be always depending upon their parent for each and every of their activity and to satisfy their need. But when as they grow, when they reach this adolescent period, they may crave for autonomy and independence. Let's see some of the examples of gender stereotype. In media, female are portrayed as housewife. Most of the time, they are portrayed as housewife and obsessed with so much of household appliances. For example, Aishwarya Rai coming for this prestige products, and Sneka is coming for this, Dimbar, like that. So certain advertisements are reserved for male, and certain advertisements are reserved for female. So that sort of disparity is shown in media. And men are said to be the real man who are muscular, handsome, successful, and all that. And even in Disney also, the female characters are portrayed as very emotional, tentative, and even romantic. Male characters are portrayed as independent, assertive, and athletic and all. Even some cultures, some people are having a culture that they do not allow their women students, or they do not allow their women children to go out and learn in colleges, and they are not allowing their women children to go and perform so many other duties. For example, to become a collector or to become a police officer or to join in defense. All these are, we do have some restrictions for women. That is due to the culture. Yes, so in a society, women are expected to be quieter than men, and they are not meant to speak louder, speak out. If a woman is talking very loud and very bold enough, they would just criticize the women. They'll ask a simple question whether she is a woman or not. So that sort of gender stereotype we do come across with. At home also, women are responsible for raising their children, supposed to do the cooking work, household activities, and all these are the responsibilities exclusively reserved for women. And men can go out in the morning and they can come back in the evening, and they may come with a lot of tension, which is acceptable. So that is that sort of stereotype we do have in our society. If a woman raise voice against a man, then the women are cornered. And even at work also, women do not have so that women are not expected to do such a lot of technical skill, as well as they are not given such heavy work like repairing the car or mechanical work and all. Provided given a chance, women also may prove their mettle, but we are not giving. So that is the disparity we do have with regard to men and women. Let's learn what is gender schema theory. Gender schema theory was formally introduced by a person called Sandra Bem in the year 1981, which is a cognitive theory to explain how individuals become gendered in a society and how gender linked characteristics are maintained and transmitted from one member to the other member and other members of with regard to their culture. It is a very simple theory which says that every person, we know already that every individual is born with a schema. Schema is the mental disposition every person is having. So this theory says that children learn their gender identity between the age of 1 and 2 itself. Between the age of 1 and 2 itself, the children will know they are male or they are female, boy, girl, and all that. As they grow, because we keep talking, you are a boy, you are a good girl, you are a good boy. So we keep stressing on, we keep telling them, and that is reaching their mind. And as they grow, when they are playing with their own age mate, when they form a gang, there too their peer interaction will tell them, will explain them that they are in the group or they are out the group. All the girls will join together and form a group, and boys together join and form a group. So this sort of disparity start from childhood time itself. And these children are showing some sort of bias with regard to their memory with regard to their gender. And when they are in this gang age, they won't give such a lot of importance for differentiating boy and girl. Rather, they all join together and play. But as they grow and once they become adolescent, there comes this self-conscious, and they become very sensitive and emotionally unstable, and they'll be comfortable talking to their own gender. So information processing approach is the one which explains how environmental pressure and children's cognition work together to shape a gender. So whatever the societal pressure and whatever the perception of each and every individual, both put together in order to form the personality of a person. That is what is explained in this gender schema theory. So emergence of masculine and feminine orientation starts from the family, and it is strengthened in schools, and it is acknowledged in the society. So every childhood can pick up their gender stereotype preferences and behaviors from others because of the gender schema. See, you could see girls imitating their mother, boys imitating their father, even when they are at the age of 6, 7, or you could see girls playing with the toy Barbie doll. So here the girls are taking all the behavior or imitating all the behavior whatever is done by their mother to them. So you could see girls acting as a mother to their own Barbie doll, whom they will consider that as their own children. So this sort of gender schema, that is the mental disposition, the mind process they would go undergo with. And preschoolers, they would apply all this gender schema guide to proceed their own behavior. And adolescents, they would come across with another gender which is called as transgender. Let's learn the strategies for non-gender development. So far we have learned what is gender and what is gender stereotype. We are not expected to differentiate the individuals with the tag called gender. So that is what called as non-gender stereotype. And this non-gender development, for which we need to help our children to think themselves as just an individual rather than editing their choice through a gender filter called male or female. And schools are expected to provide a conducive, safe environment to learn and explore for the children. And we are expected to provide a lot of role models, real life examples we can go with. For example, when you are teaching, when you are talking about some women, characteristics of women, we can give an example of women firefighter, women police officer, male nurse. We can break the role of gender stereotype. So by which we can develop non-gender development, and we can encourage our children to work in mixed group so that they will not come under some sort of reservation for boys or reservation for girls. And we can even think about some sort of rewards and sanctions with regard to no disparity. So we can welcome, motivate, encourage all the students to have no gender disparity. Let's focus on the measures to overcome gender disparity. I would say that media is minting money out of this gender disparity. For a newborn baby, if it is a girl, they just have all the things in pink color. If it is a boy baby, we are expected to go and buy blue color. And even in the chocolate also, this Kinder Joy you take, girls pink color, boys blue color, and even the toys within this Kinder Joy chocolate also differs for boys and girls. So we are expected to just get along with what the society is. We are taken away by the society as well as by media. In order to avoid this gender disparity, we need to try to resist seeing the world in pink and blue from the moment of the child's birth. We should encourage the children to be brave at all times despite of their gender difference. We have to encourage all our children, and we should not have any sort of disparity. And we can even reverse the gender in common nursery rhymes as well as in storybooks. In storybooks and nursery rhymes also, girls are considered to be down than the boys. Boys are given superior roles than the girls. And we are expected to encourage the positive traits, and we should cultivate good habits in the children in order to respect each and every gender. What is the role of a teacher in promoting gender equality? Teacher's role is very challenging role, very essential role with regard to this gender equality. First of all, teachers should have a positive attitude and positive mind that she should treat or he should treat both gender equally. So challenge the traditional male and female stereotypes when given example to students like a female soldier or a male nurse. So far we were following one sort of stereotype. We need to just break that. Avoid the statements which have a sort of generalized statements like girls tend to, boys are more. For example, when they are releasing this 10th standard results or plus 2 results, we would say usually girls surpass boys. Girls will get the state first rank and boys will get state second rank, or boys will not, you cannot have 100% result for the boys. So these sort of gender stereotyping, these sort of favoritism for one particular gender we do have. So this sort of mindset to be avoided, especially from the teacher. And we should not limit what we are asking our own children to do. For an example, if we can even ask the female students to carry the table, bench, or even sports equipments. All this we could do. And we can actively encourage all the students to participate in different activities. We should not limit any sort of activity, especially for male or especially for female. And we should help them to come out of their comfort zone of their gender with regard to dance, drama, etc. and all. And we should encourage mixed gender group work as well as even the seating arrangement. And the teacher's role is very essential with regard to monitoring the students. So after assigning some project work or after assigning some group work, it is the role of the teacher to monitor the students to have proper discipline. What are the key takeaways from this video lecture? Parents, teachers, and community should avoid gender disparity among the students, and there is a need for improvement of many strategies for non-gender development. Let's reflect on these points. Analyze the reason behind gender disparity in family. As a teacher, how will you improve non-gender development in your classroom? These are some of the books for your further reading. Thank you for listening, students. Wish you all good luck.